Hello and welcome to Hooking Up with Books. Now, Hooking Up with Books is a series I started with my friend Craftably Ever After, Cassandra, and that is because we enjoy reading and we were enjoying talking about our books that we were reading together. And so we started this challenge. So today's video is all about hooking up with books, and the book that we were currently reading is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. But if you didn't want to read the book, you could totally watch the movie, which is A Man Called Otto, and Tom Hanks plays the main role. And they changed the name, not sure why, I didn't look into it. This is my favorite author, and I crocheted something based from this book. If you had watched an earlier video of mine, I said I was going to make something from this. This is the whole reason why I started hooking up with books. Lula and her Amigurumi Friends, this crochet book, represents the characters to me in all of Frederick Bachman's books. So when I picture them in my head, these are the characters that I see. Okay, and this is the book. This is the pattern I chose. Now, in this book, Ove, main character, here she is. Dun dun dun. So, okay. The only thing that I omitted from this pattern was the hair bows were actually crocheted, and they were just a little too challenging for me, and I decided, you know what, I'd rather just get some bows or ribbon. And what did I end up doing is I used the same yarn that I used for her striped shirt. So in the pattern, it doesn't give her lips. It does give her cheeks and a nose, and I just realized I should have put a nose on her. I'm going to use the flesh tone. Okay, so my friend Craftably Ever After has made one of the characters from this book, the one wearing the white pants. She made the male to go with the other book that we read by Frederick Bachman, which was Britt Marie Was Here, and she basically buried this book after that pattern. I'm here to tell you, Cassandra, you can do this one. This is doable. And I'm not even in full 100% mode, and I was able to do it. So pull your book out from under under all the rocks that you buried it under. So I'm just going to share the yarn real quick, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the story. Shepshez Soft Fun in the color Jeans, and look at it, came out perfectly looking like jeans. Now I put a heart on there to represent Uve's heart in the novel, as well as the cat that's in this novel. They play big roles. They play big roles in this film, and this yarn was sent to me by Pamela all the way from the UK, and it is called, it's a little ratty now, Wonder Soft Merry-Go-Round Double Knitting, and look how bright and beautiful that is. So I'm going to try and work up as many projects as I can. Cassandra already has used hers, and yeah, so it's just a little challenge, and I'll post some pictures when I get them for Instagram. So that is what I used. And then the pink, I used pink, but you probably can't tell that it's pink. She is pink, very light pink. And that came from my Hobby Lobby clearance haul that they had, the surprise one, the cotton. The sugar wheel cotton in pink, and I also got it in a white buff color, and I also got it in gray and black. I just used the pink Shepshes Soft Fun in the blue jeans color. And then I found these little tiny white buttons at Hobby Lobby. And yes, I'm a little off, but I always am. And then she has her little front pocket. Now, these pants can come off, but they're not going to come off her body. Okay, so I really loved that I actually made Lula. Now, in the pattern, it calls for putting a button in the bottom of the shoe here to keep its shape. I did not use a button. I'll show you a clip of what I used. I used a bottle cap and I put in a rock, thinking that she would be able to stand a little better. But the fact is she needs sticks to stand up because these little legs can't hold up this big body. And then I really wanted to change the hair because I didn't want it to have these lumps, but I didn't know how to do that. So I just decided to go with the pattern and see how it came out, and she came out fine. My center part is probably not where it should be, but I never part my daughter's hair right either. So yes, I'm very pleased. I'm so happy I made her. I finally made something from this book. All right, so let's go on with the story. So if you watch the book, if you watch the movie, you missed some significant details about Ove. One is his integrity in the workplace and his relationships in the workplace, and they played a huge role in who he is and who his dad was. You get to see who his dad was in the novel. Now, I told you I chose Lula because she also represents the little girl that stole Ove's heart, where she saw through him and loved him, and she colored all the pictures in color that were of him. So she always made him in color because she found him so colorful. Okay, and I have some notes. My favorite character of the novel is Marisol, which is the neighbor who doesn't let go of him and really, looks past his poor attitude sometimes. She was my favorite character out of the whole book, Marisol. And in the book, I far more enjoyed her character, and I would laugh and cry at the same time. My favorite two scenes were of her in the hospital with him when he finds out about his medical problem, or she finds out about his medical problem. I'm trying not to give spoilers away. Okay, I do have another final one, and that is his relationship with the girls. So in this book, he's a big sourpuss, but the girls he loves. And when he reads a story to them, and he buys, there's another thing that they left out in the movie, and it had to do with an iPad. So that's the way the scene begins in the movie, and then that's also kind of how it ends. And so it was really, really, really cool. He's my favorite author. So if you have never read a Frederick Bachman book, he does a fantastic job. The only book that I have not been able to connect with is Anxious People. I think it's called Anxious People. It's one of his latest novels. So that is hooking up with books. Now on to the viewers. So Pamela, who sent me this yarn, let's see her. So she also chose a cat, and there is a cat in this novel, and it just works out perfectly. I love the relationship that these two have and how they build. It's just awesome. So she made the cat because she sent me some goodies of yarn and lots of cool treats, and as a thank you I sent her a couple of yarns and little gifts. And so one of the yarns I sent her was this retro stripes, So she used the retro stripes and I just love it. So that, thank you, Pamela. And so yeah, that's hers. And then the second person who sent me something is Cheryl from the Curly Moose Crochets. Now she also made a cat, but she made a cat lovey using velvet yarn, and the pattern is called Cuddly Cat off of Etsy, and it is a Susanne Bridgman pattern. Oh, that was awesome. And so yeah, it's going to be perfect for your granddaughter, Cheryl. And Cheryl has a YouTube channel, so you can check her out too. And then the last person, welcome Janda. I think she said the way she pronounces it is Janda. I hope I got it right. She also made something. Now, I love that she chose this sweet treat. Now, this is a scene that takes place in the book and in the novel, and that is when Ove opens up to Marisol and talks a little bit about his wife, and so he gives her a memory of what they used to do, and he takes her to this bakery. And so this bakery, they would share the something they would go there weekly, spend an hour or two there, and then they would go home and they had their routines. So he opened up to Marisol at this little bakery, and so she made this cupcake, which is a free pattern, she said, and she used very thin weight yarns. She said it was just a hodgepodge of whatever she could find in her stash. Some of it was expensive yarn, she mentioned, and some of it could have been just like a cotton, but she whipped this together in the last couple of days, and thank you so much for sharing your crochet goodies with us. So that is Hooking Up with Books. Now, if you would like to join us, our next book is going to be The Giver by Lois Lowry. Now, Craftably Ever After and I are both going through something. She's got a busy schedule from work, and I'm just having some medical issues. So we are going to give you 2 months time instead of 1 month time. And that is also to give you time to maybe check out the book, give you time to read it, give you time to properly pick a pattern rather than rushing. So we're going to take The Giver, and it's a short book. Ove was, I think, a little hefty. It was a thick book. So way to go. So The Giver by Lois Lowry will be taking place now until July 15th. And then the following book is a children's story, but it's an excellent story, excellent morals, life lessons. It is such a good book, but it's something that you would read to your child because it is written in cursive. I'm sure you could listen to it. I'm sure there's an Audible version. By the way, I mean, it might not be the best quality. If you ever find a book that you would like to read, Google it. Chances are someone has it on YouTube or it's free on Libby. I get all my books from Libby because I don't like collecting books. I have enough stuff to collect. Yarn, crochet, sewing. I have a lot of things. So I'm not trying to add books to my shelf. And so I will check my books out through my local library through my Libby app, or check it out from the library, or I will get it secondhand. And if not that, I will listen to it on Audible. So those are some ways that you can try and listen, or you can also try and find it free on YouTube. Sometimes someone has already downloaded it. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by, I don't know who, there it is. And that is going to be from July 15th through September 15th of this year, 2023. And then our final book for the year will take place September 15th through the November 15th. And I'm giving Cassandra some time to come up with a suggestion. If not, I have plenty of suggestions. But she wants to come up with one. So we're going to leave that one open and see what we come up with. But for the next 4 months, The Giver by Lois Lowry and The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by And yes, I hope you join us. I always film a couple of days in advance, so I would just need your photos a couple of days before the due date. And then also, I notice I do have my email listed down below. Like I said, if you cut and paste from my description box, then you could just send it on over to me. I look forward to seeing more crochet goodies from you. I will try to have all their patterns linked down below, and I'll see you again soon. My daughter said she looks like a kindergartner. And I said, why does she look like a kindergartner? And she said, because of what she's wearing and the little pictures on her clothes and her hair that's in little ties, she looks like she belongs in kindergarten. Okay, so bye.